Alright, so Army of the Dead is the latest film by Zack Snyder, and it stars a bunch of people, including Dave Bautista, Ella Purnell, Omari Hardwick. And it's about a group of people who live in Las Vegas, and the zombie apocalypse has pretty much started. They managed to get all the zombies into this one enclosed area. They sealed it shut. No one can get in. No one can get out. Good. And then Dave Bautista is approached by this rich guy who tells him, hey, there's a lot of money in this safe. It just so happens to be in that area with a whole bunch of zombies, so get a team together and basically break in. Yeah. So, I never actually saw the trailer for this movie. I kind of just forgot about it. So I had no idea what this movie was like going into it. The cast sounded interesting. Dave Bautista, branching out of the MCU a bit. Omari Hardwick is a good actor. A bunch of people in this movie are like, hey, I recognize them. I know they're good people. I hope they're good people at least. And as far as Zack Snyder goes, I took a little bit of flack with my review of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which, I still stand by. I have issues with that movie, but, I'm not going to deny that, people enjoyed it at least. And so I was like thinking, am I going to hate this one too? And yeah, I still don't really like this movie. I'm still not a fan of Zack Snyder as a filmmaker, and this movie didn't really help me either. So, as far as this movie goes, it's mixed. There's things I do like, and there are things I don't like in this thing. And that's kind of the problem with this movie, because I'm kind of going to go back and forth between like the things I like and the things I don't like in this movie. Instead of like starting with the positive and then going to the negative. This is where I'm just going to go, okay, this works, this doesn't. This works, this doesn't. So, let's get into it. So, overall, the performances are fine for the most part. Dave Bautista is pretty good in this movie as the leader of this group. He gets to branch out a lot more than, just be Drax in the MCU. But the problem with this movie is that a lot of the characters are very one note. They have, like, one trait throughout this entire movie. Like, I'm a badass. I'm sarcastic. I'm chaotic. I'm quirky. And they don't really have much personality. I couldn't care for most of them. And by the end, I definitely didn't care for any of them. As far as like some of the other actors, like take Tig Notaro, who I thought she was pretty good in the movie. And like what they did to get her into the movie. And it kind of shows a bit, like you can tell that she wasn't there while filming. It just doesn't really work out too well. Like, it's weird because, like, she has good chemistry with everyone in the movie, but at the same time, it's like, you can tell she's not there, unfortunately. The worst, though, Ella Purnell, who plays Dave Bautista's daughter. Now, she's not bad in the movie. Like, her acting is fine. Like, no one in this movie gives a bad performance. But her character, my God, she does a lot of really dumb things in this movie that were so annoying. It just drove me crazy. Meanwhile, obviously this was a zombie movie. At first I thought it was like, oh, is this like a sequel to Dawn of the Dead? Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead? Because like, it has Of the Dead in the title. Oh, no, its own thing. So, and as far as the zombies go, I thought a lot of them were pretty interesting. At least when you could see them. And, like they have like smart zombies, they have adapting zombies, a zombie dog at one point. I thought that was pretty cool. But they don't really go any further than that. It's like, oh, this is a really cool idea. All right, Zach, what about him? It's really cool. Okay. Fine. Give him money. And so I kind of wish they did that a lot more, unfortunately. And, Zack Snyder, he loves to use the slow motion pretty much any chance he can in this movie. Not in this movie, but in his entire filmography. But the slow-mo in this movie is actually effective. Like, there's this whole opening scene, which basically the credits. It's a lot of slow-mo, and that's really the only time there is actually slow motion in this movie. And basically shows, like, the various people who are going to be in this movie, what their story is with this whole outbreak, and how basically they got all the zombies into this enclosed area, which, that was pretty cool that they did that. And it was like, it's kind of like what they did with Zombieland, like the two Zombieland movies, but this one, it actually matters to the plot instead of just randomly seeing zombie action. But at the same time, it's a little bit out of focus at times. I don't know why they did that. It's like, because Zack Snyder is also the cinematographer on this movie, which You know, you don't normally see that. And sometimes, like, when the zombies are, like, in, it's like, they come in, and then all of a sudden it's like they're out of focus, like, okay, why? Did you not think, like, what kind of focus you were trying to do or whatever? And, look, I do want Zack Snyder to succeed. I really do. It's just I didn't really care for this movie. And I know some people said, oh, this movie's a lot of fun. Well, unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of fun. I do want to have fun with this movie. And clearly the other actors do too. Like, they try to make this movie fun, but they also want you to take this movie seriously at times. And it's like, that's kind of a problem, to be honest. So, you know, I do want to have fun, but I also want to care about characters in this movie. Care enough to go, you know, I'm glad you survived. And I just don't. And this movie does set up a sequel. Who knows if we'll get it? We probably will. I don't know. So, Army of the Dead is definitely has a lot of cool ideas for where to take the zombie movies, zombie genre. Has some good performances, but there's just a lot of technical things that I just didn't care for, and honestly, the characters could have used a lot more work in this movie, to the point where I'm just like, you know, I don't care about anything in this movie. Oh well. I'll give Army of the Dead 2 out of 4 stars. Stream it. Again, I want Zack Snyder to succeed. I also want him to have better characters in his movies. So, what did you think of Army of the Dead? What's your favorite zombie movie? Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat, and stay safe.